a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Douglar Radio.
Blessing, good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Douglar Radio. All right. So,
Baccaral?
yeah, distractions in the place.
A lot of things.
Distractions in the place. But they're not going to distract me, Corky. They're not going to distract me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey in the house, Corky in the house, Chanel in the house, I'm in the house. We will fix that just now, don't worry, that one day. Alright, so Jeffrey, gets up. Let's get this ball rolling.
Big show today.
Of course. Today, Jeffrey will take the lead here this afternoon.
Yes.
And of course, I and Corky will follow.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Brother Jeffrey, the mic is yours.
Good evening to everybody, to the public, to everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. You know, every evening we just come straight from the south. Come up here and we just try to have something good running here. So what I really want to discuss is that sometimes when you're doing the right thing and you have this vision and to plot a point out of a certain place or a captivity then that the people in, sometimes the very people who in captivity, you have to fight them too. And the problem with that is that sometimes it does be real hard, boy. Because they're your own brothers and them, sometimes you had to fight against your own brothers and them. And whereas you thought that they would understand that we had to come out of this then. Yeah. The fight in here, the thing in here, like some of them don't want to. It come like you're saving a drunken man. Yeah. And when you do so, he's struggling and he's trying to pull you down too. And sometimes you had to come, you had to knock him out to save him then. Yeah. And you know what we're doing here is a mission. Yeah. I want to be dramatic in it, but it is a life and death mission.
Everything now we need prayers, you know, because it's hard, war, you know.
Yeah. Pray. So what we're doing really and truly is to try to bring a certain awareness to the people. But at the same time, there are certain cultural leaders that are trying to spew propaganda all through the airways and say in a kind of way to stop progress. Because as I was saying, where I was in the bowels of the PNM. And it come like Joseph at a point in time, for him to be saved, he went off to Egypt. Right. And it come a time that Moses was to come and deliver people from that same place that was saving them. It become detrimental to them. So he was how to put it across, a deliverer was to come. And when that time taking place, I know it doesn't be easy, because the same Messiah was to switch countries, was to go so they try to kill you and all. And what taking place here is a revolution. A revolution of the youths. So the youths and the wider public could understand that here what's going on. There's a mission that we're on here, and we in a place that it's not good for us. So it's time for us to come out of that. Because I have seen in my village why is right about now, where they have been PNM until the beginning of time. Yes. And the development that we have, we see it slowly dwindling away. They ain't come and they just take it just so, you know. They come, they take off a foot. They come, they take off a hand, and everything coming down, it drying up. And for PNM area, and for government that is PNM, they fail we. They fail us. And to make a long story short, I did want to know, well, is this, how come the same people that saying that they're doing good for we, they're doing with this, I couldn't understand it. So that is why Sunday that go on there when we had the little session down in library, that I was trying to say, but I didn't really want to go into too much explanation concerning that. When I started here, Victor, I started seeing him all over. And I say, boy, what this man is about, boy? Because I tell him me like, I say, Victor, you know, they tell him all kind of thing about you. So I call him and I tell him. When I tell him.
And that's the first time we connect.
Yeah, that's the first time. And watch he just get quiet just so. I say, well, here what going on. Well, I reach home. Well, next thing, this is truth. He say, brother, here what going on. When you're doing something, good, you go always at the fighters. Who go try to pull you down. So, you know, as I'm going along, as a man doesn't listen to small talk and thing. When I'm observing, and I'm going along, you know, and I go talk on the little platform that I have, and I'm talking, and we're going along. But I see a level of consistency that have been taking place with Victor. I never see him hold back on the word. Anything anything I tell him, it come like we could talk anything. And in spite of what people say, in spite of how they say it, that's not what I hear. So, and the people in the village and all, like one or two of the fellas and them I go to work with, I used to work with and thing, I would ask them, they say, nah boy. They just kind of talking, how people is, I say, well, right. I don't know if you know that fella called Jacob from down on your side. He tell me, he say, boy, nah. That stupid dog. He end up still, he joined the WhatsApp group and all.
Right.
I say, boy, you know. Well, all right, well, I watch it, I listen, I think. And then when I do so, I say, boy, you see this? This man stand up for a cause. And it's similar to mine. I say, let me go at this thing together. Let me take the bull by the horn and call a spade, because in that community, it's real fighting. It's real fight because of where the people was.
What they are accustomed to.
What they are accustomed to. So, that is how me and Victor connect on this kind of point. And to tell you the truth, people, is just I decided to jump on board with Victor. Because I seen something that could take place for the benefit of the wider public. And I call in on everybody. This is not no game thing. Anybody who's spewing propaganda don't he come in with one set of ad hominem attack. Why they don't call the program now? I give you your chance. All who feel or your questions concerning the motive of this thing, don't come with no personal attack. Or you might know what I mean by ad hominem now. Don't come with no personal attack. Come with facts. Call in. If you're brave enough, call in and let me hear what you want to say. Because all you come in and saying this quite in a dark corner day or on a next frequency and pretending to have belly. Call in now. If all you really have the belly, all who getting paid to say this and to say that or to diminish a man's character, call in if all you have the belly. Because you're putting out all kind of nonsense all over the place.
218-7762.
Yeah, and the number
218-7762 is the number. 218-7762. And as Jeffrey on that note, Corky, there is a how I should call this? There's a coordinated attack that will continue to disseminate out of the ruling party. And I will tell you why. When you are in a position where you personally believe that you settle based on your status of employment, based on what you collect every week or every fortnight or every month, what happens is that some people take their job seriously, but only for the wrong reason. So, the thugs on social media, they take their job seriously. And they take that job seriously because they are being paid to do so. But people would not take the time out to see whether you are paid for the right reason or you are paid to continue to send a country down the drain. And that is why as far as I am concerned, I said clearly that nobody could pay me to talk hockey. The United National Congress cannot pay Victor Roberts to talk. People cannot buy my integrity. My integrity is not for sale. What I do in the interests of people. What I say it in the interest of awareness, allowing the people who believe that they have been served by a political group to understand and see that the truth and in fact is that they are being used by a political group. And some may say, well, that can work on both sides of the fence. Well, each and every one of us have to look within. And when we look within, we look within to see what is there. And if when you look into yourself, you are seeing that your conscience is not agreeing with your action, then you have to understand that what you are doing is wrong. It's not the right thing. For some reason, you will realize that some politicians have no conscience. Absolutely no conscience. And when I look at the Prime Minister, for instance, as a classic example, as far as I am concerned, the Prime Minister of this country haven't got a conscience. There is nothing that this individual can do or say that will interfere with his the inner mind, or in some case the inner man. Because within this shell, there is something within that will tell you, that will influence you when you are going outside of the ordinary, when you are doing things that is not consistent with the development of humanity. And when you look at the Prime Minister actions, you will realize that this Prime Minister haven't got a conscience at all.
Yeah.
We have looked at developments over this past 6 years. We could go back to the number of ladies that were brutally raped and murdered. And we will see that as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, Jeffrey, that there was no echoing of a sentiment to express his disgust or his dissatisfaction with what happened to these young girls, these young ladies of our society. As of most recent, we have experienced this Paria fiasco. And to date, you have not heard a word from the Prime Minister in terms of echoing a sentiment of grief or dissatisfaction. And the list can go on. And when you look at individuals without conscience, then their motive would not correspond with the development of humanity. We, on the other hand, as people who seek the welfare of others, some people say activists, some people use all different titles to describe you and me and so on, which is not really important to me. Whatever title makes them comfortable, feel free to use that. A matter of fact, I frequently use a word idiot and idiotic and so on. If that makes you feel comfortable in relation to describing me, then that's a matter for you. You could use that too.
Yeah, you want to use that?
Yeah, they could use anything, Jeffrey, because the point I'm going to make is what they say or what they do does not interfere or would not influence my judgment and my decision in doing what I do.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can type what you want on social media. You can put whatever propaganda you feel to put out there. That does not interfere with me one little, according to my son, twinny bit. That doesn't interfere with me. Because I will tell you something. In our society, we are at a place where people take good for evil and they utilize evil for good. Now, Koki, when you reach at that place, it is a dangerous place, because what will eventually happen is that the society will continue to demonstrate that type of lawless behavior that we are now experiencing in every sector of our society, from the school. A matter of fact, we are also seeing lawless, disgusting behavior even within the church.
Yeah.
Even within the church. So when a society hold up evil as good and utilize good to be evil, because you see what we have been doing throughout this country, Jeffrey,
Yeah.
and you see some of the evil attacks that come across as a result of our effort to assist people. A matter of fact, one idiot with a white glasses on a television talk show state that we going down into the beatum and carrying Clorox and disinfectant to look for vote. And I was hoping that we could have meet him in the beatum where we could have borrowed a toothbrush and use some of that same disinfectant Clorox to scrub his mouth. You understand? I'm showing you the level of dotishness.
Yeah, and them fellas and them using the position in the wrong way.
Right, but why? And I want to explain to you why. The reason why you will get these attacks, Jeffrey, is just as we started the basis for this discussion, is simply because of the influence by the dollar.
Yeah.
So when you are influenced by a dollar, then you can be blown with any wind of doctrine.
Yeah.
Any breeze that blow the dollar, you will follow that dollar. So 1 minute you can be a UNC, and another minute you could be a PNM, and the next minute you're beating both of them simply because the dollar is not blowing in your direction. And when the dollar is not blowing in your direction, you will open your mouth and you will use it to bring the dollar into your direction.
Yeah, I understand.
So when you listen to some of the talk show hosts, when you listen to some of the Facebook specialists, I call them, they are specialized in idiotism. When you look at those programs, you will understand that these individuals is not about people, they are not about country, they are about the dollar, and they will support the party that continue to pay them that dollar.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I understand.
So that is why there is some programs on afternoons and on afternoon and so on that people will call and say, Victor, you hear this? Those things does not interest me. You could have a whole program on Victor Roberts. That do not interest me.
Yeah, but what I did say earlier too, that they ain't coming with facts, they coming with these personal attacks.
And still, this is the realm for it. You see, in the political realm in this country, we have utilized that political realm not to deal with issues and policies and factual information. We utilize this political realm on gimmickry, on personal onslaught on individuals' character, and we utilize that to stay in power. That is what's happening. So, what going forward, you, Jeffrey, I, and others, we cannot be deterred by what people think of us and what people say of us and what people put on social media about us. We cannot be deterred, because once we are deterred by that, it shows the weakness, the strength that we do not compose in order to carry out a mission. You see, if you are to look, let's just go to the spiritual side for a while, Koki. When you look at the spiritual realm and the way in which the Creator the Creator choose individuals who are strong to carry out His wishes. It's not to say that the Creator doesn't have the power to speak something into being, but He utilized individuals and allow them to go through the test of time, to walk through the pit of fire. And when you go through the pit of fire, then you will come out on the other side as pure gold. And it's only when you go through this pit, then you are able. It come as if I am telling a man about being hungry, and I never experienced hunger.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How could I express to you? How could I understand your feeling of being hungry when I myself never go through hunger? I have never experienced what it is like to be hungry. So if I have never experienced, then I could only talk from a place where my mind and my imagination and probably information that I read up upon to disseminate.
What is that?
My thoughts on your feeling. So, and this is what happened with some of our politicians. They have never go through the place to understand what is happening to the citizens. But I don't want to go there yet. But when people put ideas out there in relation to your character, you must defend your character only Corky, when it's time to defend your character.
All right.
So let me break down that a little bit. So I come on this radio station this afternoon and I say, you see, Jeffrey, I know Jeffrey used to thief chickens. Corky said, chickens? I say, yeah. Jeffrey used to thief chicken, boy. I know Jeffrey. That man, every time I fall past, should have a yard that man cooking. That man thief so much I fall that he might crow just now. Right. Corky take it up and he said, Jeffrey, you is a chicken thief. And then before long, it's on social media. Jeffrey's a chicken thief. Jeffrey's a chicken thief. You have two choices. You could just let that go until eventually it will die a natural death, or you could respond to it, but respond to it only when it's important. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, caller.
Welcome, caller. I think we lost it there now.
Yeah, you lost it there.
Oh, right, good. And that is the situation. So I doesn't business with what people say on social media. You could say what you want. Let me tell you.
Watch out, let me defend myself one time. Yes. I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat.
All right. So Corky, my point is, those things doesn't move me. Right. Those things doesn't move me. So you say Victor Obas is a foul thief. when it's time for me to defend that, I defend that. And let me tell you a simple way or a simple time that I will defend that. It is when Corky called me for an interview, and Corky said, well, Mr. Roberts, we understand that you're the Steve Chickens, and we understand that you was arrested for thieving chickens and so on. Then I will take my certificate of character, and that will speak for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a man is a thief goat.
Right. That will speak for me, Jeffrey. So, what I'm saying, I am saying that there is so many platforms for foolishness that if you try to respond to all these idiots and them who will post foolishness and try to distort the message that you are sending, then you will forget about the message that you have to send, and you will just be defending all the days of your life. And that is why I just tell people on social media, even on UNC platforms and so on, you have to understand that there is people that is being paid to come on these programs and to type and to say certain things. I don't waste time to respond to that. I don't waste time to respond to that. And we spend so much time responding to foolishness that we of our own self forget to write a proper comment. We forget to write a proper comment because we spend so much time trying to answer everybody who spew foolishness and dotishness on social media that you forget to write a good comment. You forget to put some facts out there. You forget because your time, your concentration is so taken up in responding to foolishness that the message, even the message that is being sent, it is lost. Because instead of you respond to the message, you respond to those who want to distort the message.
Yes.
I don't need nobody to respond to distort any message for me. You know what I'm saying? People say all kind of things. Just recently, a man say, Mr. Roberts on social media, pal, you falling for anything. You know what's my response there? Go on my page, you will see it. I say, pal, I understand when the words say how a man think it is so he. This is a clear example. I don't have time to respond to you and dotishness. You understand? But be that as it may, the fact remains is that you cannot get away in the political arena from those who will be bent to destroy your character. You cannot get away. And at the same time, you cannot respond to everybody who posts something on social media. So what you have to do is to allow them to bring the facts. Welcome, caller.
Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir.
Well done and well explained.
Thank you,
come
sir.
to join a great conversation like this. You see, when people talk in racism to you and you could buy, they're going to use you to buy more and more and more. And they just do that. Racism is just to pimp around people. And if I have to come to make, and I know you hate certain people that come and buy talking to get something from you.
Right.
Because I come up pimp to racism. People in every race have the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And you see, Mr. Jeffrey, understand this. You go through your village and go from house to house. There's only a few fellows who come around you. You know, well, you're going to take something now, boy. And right there they want you.
The negative
Don't
thing.
argue with people. The first thing you do when somebody comes to you, so let me ask you a question. Do your very own eye see itself? Stick on him. Say, do your very own eye see in your head? Do your very own eye see up your nose? And he cannot answer you. Let him know, I am not your problem. You are your very own problem. Everything starts with us. When you hear people talking about the devil, God never make nothing bad for people. When God made everything, he asked and said, let us make man who he was talking to every single thing. And he make every single comfort for us. But through our stupidity to watch what somebody is making and don't study yourself what you could make, you are backward. You're not a pure human being as yet. You're a beast in society, and you make yourself useless to yourself, useless to your parents, and useless society to
Thank
society. You have a blessed and wonderful night.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Cascade here.
Cascade, what happening?
Yeah, Cascade.
So this caller here, you find Mr. Rowley is a nice man. He's a blessed and wonderful man. Tell me what part of Rowley is a blessed and wonderful man. Tell this radio station this evening, what part of Mr. Rowley is a blessed and wonderful man. I'm coming back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cascade.
Boy, this Rowley is a beast. He ain't telling me about blessed and wonderful. Don't put that word. Rowley is a beast.
Right, so let me get this thing up and running because we have Douglar Politics going to be coming over at 7:30 sharp. Douglar Politics will be inside, so stand by for the Honorable Anneli Roberts later. Welcome, caller.
Yes, Uncle Robert, I'm present. Good evening, sir.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, T-Shay calling in the house here. I was coming home in a max here, and I heard that Paris Alvari is no longer the AG.
Well, of course, the Prime Minister reshuffled quite a few of them from their positions, from their respective positions.
Okay, so, okay, well, I'll wait to hear more from you, right?
Well,
thank you very much.
All right, thanks. But I would not be dealing with that subject. I would not be dealing with that subject, Cole, and I'll tell you why I will not be dealing with that subject today. I am not going to be distracted by the Prime Minister follies.
Mm-hmm.
You see the folly that the Prime Minister come into this country with? Yes, every time and this is something that work for over 7 years or going on 7 years in this country. Every time the Prime Minister is cornered by serious misconduct or serious mismanagement or serious mishap as to what happened with those divers in Paria, and the merit list, and the list goes on. Yes. The Prime Minister always distract this population, a diversion by some strategy that he worked very well on this country. Faris Alwari position is not important to me.
Yes.
Kazem Hussein position is not important to me. Yes. Becker's position is not important to me. Yes. Camille Robinson Regis position is not important to me. Yes. Nosebreaker or Norbrega or whatever his name is. Them position is not important to me. Yeah. What this country must be studying is not Faris not there, and this one not there. This country ought to be studying what is the next move to cause this government to call election.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is what this country ought to be studying. What is the point? You much people, boy, all that to talk about what happened with Alwari and them. Yeah. I'm not talking about that. Welcome, caller.
Yeah. Yes, man. Cascade here.
Yeah, Cascade.
This man finding all kind of things that distract people from the attention.
Exactly.
People murdered, and he gone and take away letter. All the time you didn't know nothing about that letter. How all of a sudden you could claim the man went and take away that letter?
Right. That is the
man
topic.
went and take away that letter. Boy, we had to plug the tongue and get rid of this man.
That is the topic, Cascade.
We had to get rid of this man, All the time you don't know nothing about this letter.
Yeah, the
all of a
meritless.
sudden, you is the man. Know about the letter now.
Yeah, boldface.
Wait, who you fooling? And how you become how that become a blessed and wonderful man? Boy, to follow the revolutionary eyes. I say good evening to the dead spirit of Beverly Jones there.
Thank you, Cassie. That is the conversation. Yes. That is the conversation. You jump out all of a sudden, I is the man. I is the high-ranking official.
All the time he lying.
Right. But added to that, I want to, you see, as I was taking it easy today, you know, Jeffrey. We plan to take it easy today.
Yeah. We plan to take it easy.
But I ain't taking it easy no more. No. I ain't taking it easy. Every time this lying prime minister get caught, he joke it off. He joke it off. When they catch the prime minister, when he made that phone call to every drilling to bash, and the media corner him, he joke it off. He said, well, what kind of friend? Take the call. I want to get hot, you know.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, man. Silver Fox in the house.
Yes, Silver Fox. Go ahead. Silver Fox, I nearly ain't take your call, you know, because I'm hot right now.
so wait now. You are taking my call?
I nearly ain't take it. I can't see who calling, you know. But I nearly ain't take this call. Go ahead.
All right.
Shoot.
What I want to see is Rowley getting out of office.
That is the conversation. Mm-hmm.
I want to see Rowley get out of office. Rowley fooling this nation and dividing and talking race. But what I want to ask the people who is studying race, have any one of you ever see God? Have any one of you Trinidadian and Tobagoans ever see God? To know what color God is, if he colorless or what color he carrying? And you're calling yourself Christian and you're calling race and one another? We have to get real. We have to get real. And if we don't get real, we're in our next place. Just imagine, all watching a minister of health, just the people. The man have no experience in that position. Nobody talking. Nobody talking, the man killing way out. All you got start to ask, Victor, the hospital don't have this. Victor is not no minister. Victor is not the prime minister. Why are they not calling on Rowley? And is most PNM calling from the and don't have nothing in the hospital and calling you? Why they don't call on Rowley to come out? Because tomorrow election come, they're going back and vote for the same man. Because just look at Rowley. You know, Rowley has remind me of when you have a dog and you get knocked on the side of the road, just a Rowley mouth does look. You know, the dog looks like he laughing. The man looking just like that. Right? Rowley is a wicked, evil, but he don't have words to cover that man. Right? And the most ugliest man I ever see, I try to get people to put things together, is Fitzgerald Hines. I don't know where a man come from, what planet. It's the worst thing I ever see with ugliness. I don't know how Kamala them could stand in watching it. Right? The country need to get up. The people need to get up. The young people need to get up and let we get rid of Rowley from this country, and that could solve all our problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Fox. That is the conversation, you know. That is the conversation. When they caught Rowley with AV drilling, with Bash, with the phone call, this is something, you know, a serious thing as misbehavior in public office. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr.
Good day, sir.
Roberts and your co-host.
Yeah, Jeffrey and Corky. Good day. Good day.
The person who should be fired today is firing other people and reshuffling people.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is the person who should be fired today.
Exactly.
But he's reshuffling and he's firing people. This is a Mickey Mouse camp. This is a Mickey Mouse camp. I can't understand that. And you know, they have the temerity to stand up and say, I'm reshuffling and I'm moving this one and I'm moving, when in fact that person should, on his own volition, resign.
That is what we're talking about, caller.
But some lecturers at the university will tell you that the conventions that apply in other Commonwealth countries, and more particularly Britain, right, don't apply here. So there's no responsibility. Nobody takes responsibility. In fact, when the time comes to take individual responsibility for ministers to take that responsibility, they jump in front and say, no, I am responsible. right? So they have made a mockery of the whole question of individual responsibility. But again, coming back to the whole point, that is the person who should have been gone today. Not those, some of the people who we put in there. Yes, we know that some of them really, they're obsolete, they're really non-functional. But the fact remains, it's a sort of, how could you the kind of things that you would have done over the last 7 years, culminating with this thing with the Police Service Commission. And you sat there, everybody, the whole Caribbean is a laughing stock. Trinidad, in every class, every tutorial in Barbados, in politics, that is the discussion. In Jamaica, in Bahamas, Trinidad is a laughing stock.
Correct.
And it's a case study as to what should not apply in a democracy that follows the Westminster model. You won't see it in New Zealand. You can't see it in Barbados. That can't happen there. Jamaica, that is not going to happen. We used to look at Grenada with Gary and those people and them, and we used to laugh at what Gary used to do. We used to look at Burnham in Guyana.
Correct.
Right? We look at Claude Duvalier in Haiti. But we have it right here today. And as I'm saying, that the person who is doing the firing today, that person should be fired or in fact should resign.
Thank you, Kola. That is the conversation. That is the conversation. That is the conversation. Thank you, Kola.
Good night, gentlemen. What make and the listeners, what make Dr. Rowley look good sometimes and impressionable is the outfit. Don't laugh, please. Eduardo Chiquitiff again.
Is the outfit?
Not faulty. It's a goat and cattle teeth. But I want to draw your attention to Paria again. Now, after these gentlemen done put down the two plates, there are one more to put down, then the incident takes place. But that oil that was in the water, if they wanted that if the water was clear, they would have easily find their way out. But when that oil came in the water, it darkened everything. Because it says, he said, concede clearly for the struggle to survive. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Kola.
Thank you, Kola.
I like that, man. The suit that make Rowley look good.
Rowley just spoil them suit on them.
But let me take a break. Let's take a break. On top of the hour. That slipped me already.
Top of the hour, yes.
Yeah.
Stand by.
But you can take it in the next minute. You know. You have it?
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
What goes in is a local something that makes it all taste better. It's the flavor of our culture. Come from here, come from there, and everywhere. It's the special flavor that's made us savor at the Royal Castle. Oh, come the Royal Castle. Royal Castle. Flavor to the bone. Royal Castle. Taste the very own. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Taste the unique flavor of our culture at Royal Castle.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousaka.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousaka. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Paria on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you, the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
This Friday, March 18th, the Afterwork Lime is at Roxbury Sports Bar, number 325, Southern Main Road, Cunupia, featuring Kelly Matthews, Pan Melodies. The action starts from 5 p.m. Carib and Stag, $10. Free cutters. The Afterwork Lime is at Roxbury Sports Bar, 325, Southern Main Road, Cunupia, with Kelly Matthews, Pan Melodies. This is a safe zone. All COVID-19 protocols in effect.
Welcome back. Remember, the number is 218-7762. We will be going to Douglar Politics at 7:30 sharp. So stay tuned. The Honorable Senator will be coming live and alive to you. So, Corky, as we were saying, telling me that Alwari is rural development and
yes,
boy, and you see, that is something that happening with
games they just be playing or they don't show the man that shoveling in hand.
People just keep falling for them distraction.
Yes, boy.
People just keep falling. People just keep falling for that distraction. I just watch and say, but boy, I don't know how this 9 days wonder.
I really feel
9 days.
People shopping in this
9 days. You see all this with Faris and all that, 9 days. And after that, that's the end of the story. We keep falling for this 9 days distraction that Rowley keep bringing to them.
Yeah.
You take it?
Yeah, good evening, caller.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening, caller. Excuse me.
Yeah, good day.
You see how they distracted everything on the radio and said, now they talk about Paris compromise the witness with the partner in England and the mischief they make, so they move him so that no wrongdoing. And I hope Reservoir Ammo and the wind-up team, I wonder if there is way Stuart Young bring him in to give him some payback for all the big companies where I talk on the station, they wind up to sell it in a fire sale. And the immigration bill, what they're fighting for is to bring the people who are selling out the asset to bring them as legal so they can come in this country and work and manage their own assets. Have a nice
Thank you, caller. Boy.
Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Victor Robert.
Good day, sir.
And Corky and Jeffrey.
Yes, good evening.
RG, Canada.
Yes, sir. Good day, good day.
I just called to let you, to ask you and to let the people know, man. This thing we're probably trying to shuffle around with we shuffling around. Remember, we have 4 people dead.
Yeah.
Remember, we had 4 people dead, and they figured they could shuffle around people to not to pay for that. But I hope they come out and they pay for that. And the lawyers and them who fight in that case, don't make them get away with that. And what they should do is just leave Parliament and call Golden Grove prison and let all of them just open the jail and just go inside of there and don't worry to do anything again, man.
Exactly.
Call an election now.
Yes, caller.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, caller. And that is what I want to hear. I don't want to hear about forests going and clean a drain and you see all that. I don't want to hear that. That is not important to me because this country going down the drain and instead of people get up and do what they're supposed to do, like, you know, it seems like to me, like people in the country just waiting for a distraction.
Yeah.
Like they're waiting for a new topic all the time. They're waiting for something to talk about. There is so many burning issues, so many misbehavior in public office that you're not hearing anything about. No more conversations on those topics. Every Monday morning, something happen. Everybody jump at that. Everybody jump. Everybody forget. And everybody move on. That is what I'm speaking about the 9 days wonder. We had a situation where Keith Rowley was caught with a phone call talking to Nazim Bash in relation to this AV drilling oil scandal. And when he was caught and the media brought it to his attention and asked him, Prime Minister, won't you say that is misbehavior in public office? Seeing that this man is the subject of an investigation. You are the Prime Minister with the responsibility for Petrotrin. With the responsibility for Petrotrin and every and any state organization. He laughed it out. He made a joke out of it. He said, well, so what kind of man I will be to here? If you have a friend, that's in the media. So if you have a friend and you hear something like that, you wouldn't call to find out what this is about. What this is about? Prime Minister, you is the Prime Minister of the country. You are the Prime Minister. You are the greatest influencer in the country. And when you make a move like that, what message are you sending? You state that publicly. That is my friend. What message at that time were you sending to the investigators? What message? I could recall recently on a press conference in relation to COVID-19, the Prime Minister was caught on camera drinking a few beers. And what he did, he jumped ahead before it spread to social media. And he said, you know, I want you to be cognizant because you could get carried away. Because even I myself get carried away and had a couple beers. And this country laugh at that. This country make a joke at that. When you have a Prime Minister who confessing that he broke the law, the same regulation that he put for everybody else. A matter of fact, persons was charged for doing the same thing that the Prime Minister did. Drinking beers in public. And what we do absolutely nothing. The Prime Minister deny he had anything to do with the meritless. Deny. He said categorically, deny it in public. Bacchanal with his friend Newman George and others. And he willfully come out and he tell you, I is the man. I is the man, the high-ranking official, who met with the president and so on and so on. And what we do nothing about it. A matter of fact, those who are being paid under the PNM, they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
The judiciary have nothing to say. The law association have nothing to say. Senator Vera, you have nothing to say. All of the bunch of so-called independent senators, all you have nothing to say. All you in the PNM, who we suffer or when we suffer, all you have nothing to say. That is the kind of evil that you people allow to blossom over this country. Things that other person had to pay fines and some even go to jail. The Prime Minister flaunt every law because the Prime Minister believe that he is the law and that he is a law unto himself.
Yeah.
And we, the people in the country, we support that. All of us support that. You know why? Because all you're doing is talking about it and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So don't come and call me and tell me about reshuffle. I don't want to hear about reshuffle. All you get all the time to call and talk about reshuffle. I'm not talking about reshuffle because I am not going to be distracted by Keith Rowley strategies that he continue to manipulate you people in this country. I will not be distracted. I am going to stick with the issues. I am going to stick with what is beforehand. And I am going to continue to call for a mass shutdown of this country to force this government to call election. That is my prerogative. Yes. I don't want to hear nothing about reshuffle. Nothing. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that Rowley have to go now.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you people intend to do by this month end to get rid of Rowley out of government, out of embarrassing this country, out of desecrating the Prime Minister office. Everything, every single thing that Keith Rowley touched in this country gone to the dogs. And all we doing is just what I am also doing. Talk. But the difference, Victor Roberts does back up. He talk with action. That is what I just do. I don't just talk the talk. I just walk the talk. Even if it means I'm walking it by myself. Even if it means that. But a bunch of people in this country, all that they could do is just talk and nothing but talk. Which one of you will get up tomorrow morning? Which one of you will get up next week? Which one of you will get up month end and say, look, we shutting down we constituency. We shutting down we constituency. All you is a bunch of jokers in this country. I set a 9-day wonder. All they talk for 9 days. And after 9 days, all you like a good hunting dog. Looking to pick up a scent of a new trail to get something to talk about. To get something to text on social media about. To get something to make a conversation. Now it's time. You want to make a conversation? Shut down your constituency.
Yeah.
And you will see how that conversation will make itself.
Yeah.
I don't talk the talk. I don't talk the talk. Keep your eyes open and you will see the walk of the talk. The walk of the talk. We have another group in this country. I hear Roger talking this morning. And he's speaking about people forget. Forget the matters in court. Forget the walk from Sando to here to there. They forget this and they forget that. Let me tell you something. Ansel Roger, I want to see you.
Yeah.
Walking the talk.
Mm-hmm.
I fed up with all you. Only come in and press conference and press briefing and talk and talk and talk and more talk. Get up and walk the talk. Get up off all your lazy butt and walk the talk. That is what I'm saying. That is what I am saying. And let me tell you something. While on that, there is even some of us in the UNC who also lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy. Just waiting for something to happen. Now is the time to get up and make it happen.
Yeah.
Now is not the time to sit down and wait for things to happen. This country going down the drain. This country going down the pit. Yes. And this is the time that people have to man up. Boy Scouts and Girl Guides have to become giants in this country. Pussycats have to grow to become lions and tigers in this country. We have to behave as Samson. We have to be strong. And we have to get up and push down the political walls of dishonesty. Push down the political walls of nepotism. We have to stand and get up and make it happen. We are not here to sit. We are not here. What happened? Like on a Fred Rowley or?
Nah.
Like on a Fred Rowley?
Nah.
Like when Rowley talk, on the tail that's go between on the leg. We in this country, the future, your children, my children, the future of the youths, coming to the point where it will be no more because of the lifestyle, because of the policies, because of the behavior of this government. Every one of them. Everyone. What you want me to tell you? Cocky, boss it.
Everyone's coming out to bring about a change. I see young and old, we crying out for this. Yeah.
Don't call me and tell me nothing about reshuffle. Tell me how we going to shovel out Rowley out of power. Pick him up like a load of, you know what, and cast him out. That is what I want to hear. Don't call me and tell me about reshuffle. You feel reshuffle going and fix the problem is the same policies, is the same bidding that those who keep Rowley installed going to bid, and is the same projection that they have is what going to happen, is the same policies, the same property tax, is the same high price in fuel, is the same high cost of living. You think something going to change because Rowley reshuffle? You feel Rowley something going to change? We allow Rowley to pappy show us. We allow Rowley to play the tune.
A government with integrity, now look how they understand. A government in CFTTI, now without the ball head man everybody. Rowley have to go, Rowley have to go. PNM must go, Rowley have to go, Rowley have to go. Tell them go, Rowley have to go, Rowley have to go. PNM must go, Rowley have to go.
Talk to me, Jeffrey. Oh, you don't know the code already. The shutdown, it have to begin. And as I say in the earlies, the revolution begins, and it begins today. So we don't want to hear no talk about no shutdown. Forget that. We don't want to hear no reshuffle talk. We want to hear shutdown talk. So all you don't know where it is. Call we, let me get this thing in place. This man had to go, man. He had to go.
We gone already. He out.
You telling me, ladies and gentlemen, you telling me we have seen some disgusting behavior by this prime minister. We have seen a prime minister who abused his power. A prime minister who abused all your, a prime minister who called all kind of odd names. And yet to the end of the day, we still got a bunch of dumb people in this country and talking about what we gonna do. What we gonna do? But like all they waiting for this prime minister to come like Jim Jones. Like all they waiting for him to mix it in a barrel and give a little drink. Like that's what they waiting on. This prime minister, this dictator feel that whatever he want to do, he do. And whenever he feel to papi show the population, he papi show the population. And all you just sit down and quiet and waiting for news, waiting to hear who he move and who he move. That's what they're waiting on. That's what they're waiting on, Trinidad. Boy, all have to really be jokers in this country. All have to be more jokers than the 52 card. All have to be more jokers. Because I could never understand. I could never ever understand what is happening in this country, and the people of this country sit down so quiet and drinking what is happening like a good coffee. Like a good coffee. Jeffrey, they had to be mad. Madness. They had to be mad. Boy, let me tell you something here today. All you sit down or all you behind and just wait. Wait now. Everything go work out. All you wait. And see if all you had to pack up all your car by the side of the road and push it like box cat. You know, long time you had to make box cat to go for water, Jeffrey. Yeah. You have a rope in front and the drum on top and they pushing. All you go put all your family to pull the car. And some all so wicked, all you go say, I have to sit down to stay. All you go put all your wife and children to pull the car. And all you go sit down in the driver's seat to stay. You understand? Because it seems as though that the women in this country have more testicular fortitude than all you. Like they have more than all you. Testicular fortitude than all you. You understand? So let's sit down there. Sit down there now. King Papa die, go fix everything for you, right? Don't worry. He just raising the gas a little bit. And the food prices up a little bit. And soon he go bring back everything nice. Or they go eat a little ham, or a little jam, and or they go fry it up, and everything go be nice. I bet Rowley. I bet all of that. Or they will eat stone under this prime minister. Vishnu, stand by. Vishnu, stand by to bring Douglar Politics. Stand by.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, the Silver Fox back in the house. All right. Just imagine when you are calling lockdown, a set of people calling, right? Because they just want to talk, right? And as you're calling for lockdown, you find people not call at all because they've started frightened, right? But a little more oil in my lamp, you keep burning, right? And I standing up for my country and my people and my family. I don't care what they say, right? I getting up and stand up for my rights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vishnu, all to you. We hand it over to you, Vishnu. All to you at this
All
time.
to you.
So we want to say pleasant good night to each and everyone and tune in for Douglar Politics.
Yes. Here we go. As you're calling for lockdown, you find people not call at all.
Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yo. Douglar Politics, listen Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yeah. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics. Douglar Politics, this is Douglar Politics, yo. Douglar
Good evening and welcome to Douglar Politics. When I tell you the PNM don't like black people, all you feel is joke I'm making. Rowley tell you vote for him because he black and don't study Indian. Even if Indian keeping your gas subsidy, Indian keeping your jobs, Indian paving your road good, Indian getting your water in your house, Indian getting your opportunities for laptop and education and gate and further advancement. Forget Indian because we separate Indian and African. And Rowley and them tell you that, and they put the KFC man in charge of the roadmap to recovery for Trinidad and Tobago. And the black man put the KFC man, the PNM man in charge, and the PNM KFC man, most of the people who love KFC is my black African brothers. The Indian like it too, you know, but really and truly is we black African brothers run down KFC, not so. Well, look what they do. They don't even love all you. They don't even love all you to leave you with your condiments, $2. Well, the solution is Royal Castle, the local something. You understand? The seasonings, the pepper, and no $2 for condiments. You understand? PNM not even good for fried chicken. So, Rowley, I see at Movie Tongue, an interesting thing was taking a bite out of crime. The Batman movie coming, all them children want to go and see it. Some all the adults too. But Oreo has partnered with Warner Brothers for the Batman movie at Movie Tongue. But Oreo, all you should partner with Rowley. He's the best proponent of Oreo in the history of black people across the globe. So all you call Rowley, give him an endorsement for conversations with the Oreo. Okay? Let them go and listen to he. Grenadian boat crew writes minister on beatings at sea. Very good. You see, Grenada not playing. And Amory Brown taking calls. The Coast Guard officers on suspension. Independent investigation going on. What about Ya Elvis Santoyo Saravia? What about this little baby who got a bullet straight to his head to split his brain in two and kill him in his mother's arms? What about him? How come no independent investigation? Where that reach? Where all the witnesses gone? Why all you gone quiet? Vasant, what you say? Botiwari, what you say? Because Kamala should not call. She should not criticize. She should not say that our armed forces and our police must operate under the law. So Vasant and Bo, black lives don't matter. So when you're in the USA and police killing black man for breaking a red light, that's okay. The government should say nothing. The state governor should do nothing. Barack Obama and them and Trump should do nothing. Just leave the police to do what they want. Don't operate under the law. Why this different? Where this reach? It gone quiet. Shh. Once PNM do thing, always stay quiet. Well, this Douglar is staying quiet until somebody pay for this little baby life. Well, boy, as we talking that in the Senate yesterday, I just need all your help. I see my brother Mikey K here, all kind of thing. Everybody had to help me. Somebody tell me, if I can't understand, me ain't so bright enough. But I debating a bill on immigration and I discussing immigration and the PNM them stop me because I debating immigration on a bill called immigration. I don't understand. I was in the comments, somebody help me now. Archie, you feel as joke I'm making? I don't understand. Your boy not bright, maybe them PNM brighter than me. But immigration bill, the Douglar contributing, discussing immigration. Run it. Let me check and see if it makes sense. We have porous borders. Over 16,000 illegal immigrants have been registered.
Senator Roberts, please, you are taking this debate beyond what is relevant. You are taking it beyond. So I'll ask you, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me try to let you know where I'm going. This is an immigration bill, an immigration policy. It is seeking to amend immigration laws. Immigration laws and policy only work if border control exists. If there is no border control...
Senator Roberts, that is stretching the issue of relevance. It really is. Okay, so because the bill has the word immigration in it, doesn't mean that everything about immigration is covered in a debate, and can be. So what I would ask you to do, I see you're trying to make your points. I'll ask you to tighten up, get to the point quickly.
Okay, let me tighten it, because you came up a bit early. I'm not talking about porous borders only. I am saying that if we are here making laws, we must not make laws that put law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage. So if your immigration border control policy allows those who are willing to break the law to get through, as they say, or to get in, to get jobs, then we are here putting law-abiding citizens and parameters on them to apply for work permits, to get permission, to be under scrutiny of the minister with responsibility. But other people who are not law-abiding are coming in at 149 points across Trinidad and Tobago. And any law that puts law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage could not be a just and moral law.
So, if you have a law that say we can't gather more than 10 people, and we can't lime, and we can't party, and we have to separate, and we have to wear masks, and that's the law. But then the government come and say you could go in the savannah and cross stage and no mask and man on man and woman on woman, woman on man, all kind of thing, and bacchanal and down in the PNM water park. Then the law has no efficacy. The law is unequal. The law is not moral and just, and therefore the law makes no sense. That is why all you have to let Schoon go. Man ain't going to court because all you want to lock up Schoon. Don't mind Schoon is a PNM. I don't care who is PNM and what. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All you want to run up in Schoon house with 28 police, charge him DPP, file, because he have a brunch on an open air vessel. But all year the PNM, NCC, the Ministry of Tourism and Culture promoting party and fete and mash up the place and breach all regulations. The Minister of Health breaching it. So what's the point? You don't have, if you cannot apply the laws equally, then it makes no sense. So if you have immigration, but immigration don't exist because people could come in and out your country because the borders porous, then immigration laws make no sense. I don't know, I'm not so bright. But let me see who bright. Ira Matur, you bright? The head of MAT. You writing and talking about and trying to give some analysis about propriety and so on. MAT Association, Ira Matur. But then look, this is a WhatsApp that went out from the MAT executive led by Ira Matur. The MAT executive recognizes in these challenging times, it is vital that apart from upholding the fourth estate, we continue to do diligently. We must, when possible, like other professional organizations, provide health and economic support for our members. Answer Makal has kindly agreed to provide all interested MAT, Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago members, with the option of holding Premier Rewards card, which offers discounts in the outlets listed below. Should you be interested in holding this rewards card, fill out the attached form and return it via email to Kerwin Gidari and so on and so on. Kerwin will arrange to send your personal card directly to you and can be contacted. Sharon Balrup of Group Corporation Communications Manager, who facilitated this card for MAT members, is willing to answer your questions. Come back to me, Archie. Ira Matur. Hello, is anybody home? MAT is a media association of journalists. Answer Makal is the largest corporation in Trinidad and Tobago, getting billions of dollars of assets and contracts with the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Journalists have to investigate and keep Ansa McCall and all other businesses in check. To receive gifts from Ansa McCall at the Journalists Association, the Media Association, didn't strike you as inappropriate. It didn't. Iramatur, because Balizé juice all up in your nose hole. Once Balizé juice infects the system, the brain shuts down. Everything you learn as a little child, as a little girl, shuts down. You don't know that that's inappropriate for the Media Association to be gifted, to be given what some can be deemed as incentives from a corporate body of which a lot of investigative journalists will have to do some writing, and that there should not be any glaze over their eyes and their pens and their thoughts and their consciousness when they're writing on behalf of the Media Association and the journalism, the ethics of journalistic integrity in Trinidad and Tobago. Iramatu, you really thought that was a good idea? Wow. Great is the PNM. Where Asha Jabid and them, they leave you? Go and listen to Kijani Haynes again. The fall of EFCL. When I tell you people is to suffer, who should vote for PNM other than people who directly benefit in? Whether it's a minister, a MP, a chairman of a corporation, a chairman of a board, or you're getting contract. Other than that, nobody in this country should vote PNM. Because look now, EFCL, they're going and shut down EFCL. And they're still owing contractors $600 million. You know how many contractors are now out of business because the government, the PNM government, failed to pay their bills, and now they take the coward's way out and just disband the company, leaving you citizens out there, you business people, you entrepreneurs, and you with your 8-man crew, your 12-man crew who have no work, and tell you fire burn you. You did work, but we don't. There is no merit in that, and they will not pay their bills. That's the PNM way. That's what some of you voted for. Now, I have some questions for Clarence. Clarence, you're not looking too good, boy. CFTTI, for y'all who don't know, is the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute down in Carnage. Clarence selected a man called Gabadon, put him as chairman. I asked Clarence some simple questions, and Clarence couldn't answer the questions. And Clarence put himself in a tizzy. He got his bar text all twisted because Clarence selected a man and put him as chairman, and the man selected him himself and put him as principal and paid himself $21,138 plus $1,100 in perks plus his $5,000 as chairman. Paid himself to manage himself, to monitor himself while being the secretary of himself by himself. Clarence going down there now in CFTTI, and all the board members nervous. But Clarence, you said the cabinet approved. What cabinet note? Which cabinet note? Where's that cabinet note? Because you're putting your cabinet in trouble too. And when trouble come, trouble. And look at that day, 21,138. And the man who's signing the checks from the board, along with that man Gabadon, police, boy blue, just now. So just remind them what Clarence said there, Archie. Run it.
President, the names, portfolio responsibilities and qualifications of the Management Committee as follows. Paul Gabadon, a representative of the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Paul Gabadon, a representative of the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, the Chairman of the Management Committee.
Is it the Honorable Minister's position that good corporate governance structure means that this chairman is also a substantive position of principal and the acting secretary of the board? Does the minister not see this as a breach of corporate responsibility and corporate governance? Now, Clarence, I have some questions for you, since you say this Gabadon so good that he could hire himself. What has Gabadon produced since drawing 2 paychecks from the government and the taxpayers for his stipend as chairman and his full salary as principal? If the institute is on life support, why you need a chairman and a principal who is one person getting $30,000 a month if, as you said, there is no work being done? The Carnage Fishing Depot, fisherman, can't get ice. The place now, Rowley opened it. he hold up one little kingfish, and then the whole ice machine shut down for over 2.5 years. Why hasn't that been fixed? It's under the management of Gabadon. This man is so good, he could be a chairman, a secretary, and a principal, yet he can't fix an ice machine. No audit in 4 to 5 years. Why is that, Clarence? You like to talk about transparency, accountability, and value for money, Clarence. Where the audit, Clarence? Former principal, you said on Hansard when I asked you, retired in 2012, Clarence. So which former principal then was fired by Gabadon and escorted by security, escorted off the compound in 2019? Because you said the principal retired in 2012. So which one? I'm asking you, Clarence. Which principal was fired by Gabadon and then Gabadon replaced the principal with himself? Clarence. Clarence, boy. Jail and ice, you know, boy. Please show the cabinet note that and the minute sheet approving Gabadon. Did you take this note to cabinet? Was it you as minister that signed the note that said Gabadon, the chairman, is recommending himself, and the minister, Clarence Rambarat, agrees that with Gabadon's recommendation of himself to be the principal to draw us a pay of $21,000 per month? Show us that cabinet note, please. Because we're very interested to know if your colleagues were sleeping or they were in a daze when you brought that note. Because what we're hearing is that there was no such note. So did you lie in the Senate there, Clarence? Furthermore, Clarence, does a principal of an institute or a chairman have the authority to negotiate with the EU? You kept talking about the EU and what's happening in the EU. What principal or what chairman of the institute will negotiate that? That's for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign and Caricom Affairs, for the Permanent Secretary, for the Minister of Agriculture, for you all who sign treaties. That is not the remit of the principal of an institute. Clarence, you're just talking, you look down on your paper and you're stuttering. Just because you have protection to talk what you want when you want inside a day. Don't get tied up, you know. The Douglar lives in the real world outside. I don't need to be just inside. You understand? How many people has Gabadon employed while the institute is on so-called life support? And what process has Gabadon used to hire these people? Because you put Gabadon. Gabadon is the minister's recommended person as chairman. And chairman, you approve your nominee to also be principal. And this person who is chairman and principal is also hiring other people. What's the process? Because Clarence, it's taxpayers' dollars. You have to go through process. Where were the advertisements? What's the HR committee? Which members of the board approve this? And to the other members of the board, I hear all you're saying, but y'all don't agree with this. Let me tell you something. Not agreeing, but sitting there and approving, tacit approval is agreement, you know. Police ain't gonna come and tell all you, yes, you shirked your fiduciary duty, but you didn't really agree with them, but you didn't disagree either. They don't work so, you know. You're on a board. You're either, if you don't agree, all you better resign and come out because it's coming down. Oh, look the tune, boy. Because Clarence, police, boy blue. And he shut down and locked out workers at CFTTI. Clarence, you and Gabadon, all you're moving like Newman George at Paria. But let me show you all something, because in Trinidad and Tobago, we have lost the plot. We've lost the script. We have no sort of passion again. And when Kamala Prasad-Bissessa calls for a tribunal to investigate a constitutional crisis, you have independent senators saying that she and all of us in the UNC, we are market crab and market behavior and all of that. Now when the whole truth comes around and the proverbial feces all up in the fan, what say you, independent Senator Vera? But we need real representation like this lady from the Irish Parliament, Claire Daly. Run it.
There's no doubt about it. We're living in times of catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their masters. Yes, in Ukraine, but not only. Since the last plenary, tens of thousands of Afghani citizens have been forced to flee in search of food and safety. 5 million children face famine, an agonising and painful death, a 500% increase in child marriages and children being sold just so they can survive, and not a mention of it. Not here, not anywhere. No wall-to-wall TV coverage, no emergency humanitarian response, no special plenaries, not even a mention in this plenary, no Afghani delegations and no statements. My God, they must be wondering what makes their humanitarian crisis so unimportant. Is it the colour of their skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European? That their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president rather than a Russian one? Because, my God, all wars are evil and all victims deserve support, and until we get on that page, we have no credibility whatsoever.
And all migrants' lives and all human lives are valuable. And until we believe that and we understand that the rule of law must be held across the board, whether it's a prime minister or president, the head of a police service commission, or an illegal Venezuelan migrant baby on a vessel in the darkness of the night being shot at and killed. All of us have human rights and laws must be applied across the board. You must not attack Adrian Schoon because PNM infighting between the mascara makeup wearing. And imagine Al-Rawi in the Senate yesterday wearing more makeup and dye than that lady in the Irish Parliament because she come to do work. She ain't come to look, to put down work. You understand the difference? That's the kind of people we need. And Rowley says the property tax will not break your back. Tip your finger. Yes, it's not me. Rowley, the man who is now coming to charge you after he take everything that Kamala leave there for you, from laptop to textbook to school feeding to unemployment relief grant to food cards to differently able grant to anything that was there to help people, baby milk grant, children life fund. Rowley take all of that, take gate and bill a school, he take away culture funding, sport funding, anything and everything. He now come to tell you, when everything done raised, he come in to give you property tax. And here what he telling you. Prime Minister Keith Rowley says the government is not going to ask citizens to pay a huge amount of property tax to break your back. 200,000 returns have come in. So property tax come in. He say he get all the 200,000, so it coming at you. What you paying for? Nothing in the country working. The only people happy in this country sitting down in the cabinet recusing themselves and their friend and family getting contract. Nobody else happy, but you coming to take more money out of your pocket to put into the recusal twins' hands. And you all vote for that. I'm not sure why. So if a black man thief your money, it's okay. So if I am black and a black man come and say, hey, give me your money, and I give him $46.33, I should go down the road happy because a black man robbed me. It wasn't an Indian. Rowley continued, when you pay that tax, you will be more concerned as a Burgess about what services you receive from the local government bodies. So the waste and corruption that they are engaging in at local government will fall prey to you. Let me read that again. Local government, you in charge of local government, you in charge of local government, Ministry of Local Government, you have 7 corporations. So Rowley, you are admitting that your 7 corporations, your people, your chairman, your aldermen, your councillors are corrupt, Rowley? Well, then tell them all resign. Listen to what Rowley said. Because Kamala didn't say that. Kamala saying her corporation's getting starved of resources. Chairman Dr. Alan Sami had to shut down because no diesel, can't get nothing, no tire for the backhoe, can't get nothing to pay wages to clean drains and nothing. So Kamala says she corporations have all that corruption in it. Here Rowley says when you pay tax and the Burgesses you receive from the local government bodies, so the waste and corruption that you are engaging in at local government, really, Rowley, your eye seeing that, but it ain't seeing in the mirror. Your mirror opaque.
You ain't seen the corruption at the highest echelons of your government, starting from you come down, your web of corruption. You ain't seeing that. You ain't seeing you and Newman George. You ain't seeing Noel Garcia. You ain't seeing 9 members, 1 woman on 9 board. You ain't seeing that everybody who live in Inez Gate in charge of all our money. You ain't seeing that, Rowley. You ain't seeing yourself, Rowley. Very good. But all you vote for that, so what you want me to say? And then hear this. A PNM lady who went and run and take out she money when she was Minister of Finance and leave all you to sink. And she was a shareholder of Caricom and never mentioned that, never disclosed that, and pretended to negotiate on your behalf. And this PNM lady come to say the procurement bad and PNM thieving. Really, lady? But you wasn't sitting down with them right in the election, clapping when Rowley was talking about dome builders and dome architects and dome cleaners. Etty Shera, why you don't go to your dome self? You come to talk now? Express editorial. Now, listen to this editorial. Very interesting. Express Sunday, Express, 13th March 2022, biting the bullet. The Express says today, however, the Rowley administration faces the unique challenge of managing an economy that is being squeezed between high global energy prices and low revenue from domestic production of oil and gas. The problem is exacerbated by the structure of the economy with its high import content and compounded by an externally driven inflation, which is driving up prices of everything from food to medicine and construction materials. Express, all I have to say is wow. Express, that was such an amazing piece of fantasy. The Express is basically exonerating Rowley for 6.5 years of incompetence and presenting Rowley with a myriad of problems that the Express is just making us forget that Rowley's decisions created. So Rowley creates, decimates, destroys the economy, negotiates a gas price that makes NGC lose money for the first time in history. 11 companies leave Point Lisa. Point Lisa is operating at the lowest level ever. The energy price, the energy production, the gas production, nobody get through. The last set of gas we getting is from Kevin Ramanarayan and Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Keith Christopher Rowley then shuts down Petrotrain. We're not managing, we're not doing anything. He take Malcolm Jones out. He take gas and give it to Nikwan for it to blow up. He wastes 250 million in Atlantic Train 1 when everybody said don't do that. We're not doing that. All of Rowley's decision have called a decimation in our economy. He has used out our US foreign exchange. We have negative foreign direct investment because of his lack of intelligence, his lack of ability, and his bad policies. But the Express says, oh gosh, the government is now faced with this. The government faced with that since Rowley swearing in 2015 September Express, and you just come here to hoodwink the population, to pretend like we just drop in this morass of stupidity just so by ourselves. Really, Express? I thought this one, I must applaud that. For you to sit down and pen that drivel. For you to sit down when for 6.5 years the PNM has done nothing for agriculture, nothing to increase land under production, nothing to help farmers. Talk about 500 million, only 20 million went out. Then they cut the Agriculture Development Bank by 25 million. No help for farmers with chemicals, with nothing. We importing more than ever. And now that we are exposed and naked and the PNM thief we close, you come in to just say, well, the thieves who stole the clothes are now presented with a naked population. Express, all you have no shame. Really? Think about how heartless and corrupt you have to sit down to pen this abject, total nonsense. We are rudderless, leadershipless, without an iota of an idea. No revenue streams, no change, no increase, nothing. They're now asking for a sport tourism plan. 6.5 years after being in government, they tendered out for it 2 weeks ago, Express. And you just come to give Rowley, after he creates the food, makes and bakes the cake, you come in to help him eat it? Really? Express, that's your work? All you better go answer Makala and get 2 cards too. Rowley's government faces. Oh my goodness. Kamala, government silently implementing IMF policies. Very interesting. Now, all you like to play games. Kamala can't lead and Kamala weak and Kamala. But when Kamala was there, U.S. reserves up by 14 billion. Heritage and stabilization increased from 4.2 billion US to 7.7 billion US. You had debt to GDP of 61%, it's now approaching 99%. You had 55,000 jobs created. You had foreign direct investment each year averaging 2.2 billion US coming in. Petrotrin was operating and roads and everything was functioning. Over 726 million for gate, children being educated. That was going on. So look at bad talk, Kamala, how much you want? But now, listen to what Kamala say now, because so far, everything she say is turning out to be right. Even when independent senators Paul Richards and Vera attack, all they do apologize. But run it, Archie.
And that's why I have to ask you, Prime Minister, are you implementing IMF recommendations without telling the country? Are you implementing IMF recommendations? Cut WASA, cut TNTech, cut TSTT, cut the public service, cut down all these other places, raise the fuel. Are you implementing IMF recommendations? Come clean. Tell the country these harsh financial measures are really IMF recommendations. Is it true that you have borrowed to the point where you cannot service your debts? Is this week of public relations for the Prime Minister really meant for him to get in front of the fact that soon the government will be approaching the IMF for a bailout? Has the government made a decision to devalue the Trinidad and Tobago dollar? Are you going to increase taxes? Are you going to increase utility rates? Are you going to increase prices on goods and services? Increase unemployment, devaluation of our currency, decrease income from energy, destruction of the energy sector? The government has created a perfect storm.
And that perfect storm, Express, you're not interested in all the decisions that Rowley and the Dwayne and his cabinet took to put us into that perfect storm? Express? So all of these problems we just face now, yes, there are external shocks also, but when you are a government and you take care of your domestic program, you can cushion the shocks. If you left this fuel subsidy there, our people will be insulated. If you increased agricultural production and change our cultural habits from eating foreign to eating local, we will have some sort of padding, some sort of insulation. If you created other revenue streams that could have generated money, then we would be better off. If you had negotiated better gas price, we would be better off. If you left the Petrotrin refinery open, we would be better off. If you developed Lake Asphalt, we would be better off. If you had utilized Tobago as a COVID-19 bubble of pristine elegance and perfection, we would have been better off. All these decisions were made and failures by Keith Christopher Rowley, and that's why we are not better off. So, Express, what you're saying is if I jump in my car here now and I mash gas hard through Marabella and I reach a big corner at 101 miles per hour and I'm now frightened that I might dead because I have to negotiate the corner at 101 miles per hour, it's not my fault that I reach the corner there. So now you just state that, oh, I have a problem. I have to deal with that problem of taking that corner at 101 miles per hour. So I hold no responsibility for mashing all that gas to pick up all that speed to reach the corner. Express, is that what you're trying to say on behalf of Keith Christopher, duncehead, ballhead, dotish, heartless, Oreo Rowley? Really? So if I walk up to the 85th floor of the Dubai Towers, climb up and get through up on the roof, and I look down and I say, ooh, my life is in peril up here at this roof, 85 stories down. I have no responsibility for walking up the 85 floors and stepping out onto the roof. It's not me. I just reached there. Okay, excellent. But no devaluation of Trinidad and Tobago dollar coming. Well, that is Mr. Credible, so I don't know what to tell all of that. But this IMF thing, It's very interesting, you know. The United National Congress is made up of very intelligent people and experts in their field. This is why the PNM has to play gutter, nasty, disgusting politics and lie on people. I detest Rowley. You all never hear me lie on Rowley, not one day, not one time. He's really that bad. Don't need to even think about lying on Rowley. But the PNM lies all the time. In health, the UNC have Tim Gopi Singh, Lakrambodo, Rai Rugby, Richie Stitcher, and all the kind of other people. Education, you have Kamla, you have Fazal Karim, you have Anita Haynes. Fazal, take a turn and don't go back up in Malabar by my people there. Oh God. Anyway, we go talk that after. But in sport, in culture, we have Peter Kanai, Panman. Anywhere you go, you have women's issues, gender issues, you have local government, Khadija. I mean, you're seeing experts in every single area. Economics or energy, David Lee, Dave Tanku, a team of intelligent people. So we look and we read and we understand. And therefore, long in advance, if y'all were listening, and if the mass media allowed y'all to hear, you would have heard. If I was to tell you now that in October 2020 in the budget, I foresaw, I understood, I read, and I looked at the policies of Keith Christopher Rowley and the Dwen, and I thought, saw, believed, and knew that they were implementing IMF prescriptions from October 2020. And now you're all seeing it happening in front of your eyes. Would you say that I had a crystal ball, or the UNC just brighter than the PNM? Run it.
So now we move into the facts of the budget. And let me say this clearly. The PNM government, since 2015, has us in the throes of the IMF without being there. They have instituted all prescriptions as dictated by the International Monetary Fund. The only thing is we didn't go by them and sign anything for them, and we didn't take a cent from the IMF. But everything that the IMF is about, we have instituted. The IMF believes in laissez-faire, free market, competition, neoliberalism, and it has failed in every developing country because competition does not exist. The IMF prescriptions did not work in Uganda. It did not work in Senegal, and has not worked and will not work here, because the rich will get richer, the poor poorer, and the middle class will disappear. The IMF prescriptions, for example, because don't just think that I will come here and just make up things. There's something called prior action. So let's go to pre-COVID. What did this government do from 2015 to 2020? They cut expenditure in everything. I just told you, sport cut, laptop cut, education cut, food card cut, special grants cut, everything down to school feeding, food for children cut. They removed price controls. It began, we remember our Minister of Finance said, hey, I moved the subsidy once, I move it twice, I move it 3 times, and they ain't riot yet. I go move it again, and what? It was totally honest because it all gone now. Then what is the other prescription? You have to increase revenue. So they increase taxes. We get tax on online tax. We get increased taxes across the board. They put back VAT on food. And this is another prescription after COVID now. During COVID, because we're not after it yet, we're in the midst of it. They want to increase revenue further. So yes, you have to come with the revenue authority. So Baigan farmer, all kind of farmer, planting farmer, potato, cassava, doublesmen, we have to look out. Then they need to reduce expenditure under the IMF prescriptions. What do? Mass retrenchment. Now you freeze the public service. People have lost jobs across the board. We have no data. The next step of IMF says is privatization. Do I need to tell you? Everything selling out one by one. Now is the port. We have other things coming. And then the last prescription in the IMF is to say stop forex leakages. And that's this entire budget. And in the spotlight meeting, they said, the Prime Minister said the #1 item and priority of this government is to pay down national debt. Above education, above development, above investment, above diversification, above digital economy. The number one priority is to pay down national debt. How we reach there? Trinidad and Tobago was always able to service its debt. But by borrowing and carrying us up to 80% debt to GDP, and some economists have said we're right now at 84% debt to GDP, with more borrowing coming. These are the prescriptions of the IMF. So just because you didn't label it IMF, don't mean we're not there. I put it to you that the IMF prescriptions are anti-development, anti-people, anti-poor, anti-country, and unpatriotic. All you have to do is read the preamble of our Constitution and you will know that there's an inalienable right for our citizens, for all the resources to be put to the use of the majority of all of the citizens. This budget removes that from the mass majority of the people and puts it into the hands of a few. This budget is unconstitutional. The in the UN in 1966, they passed that resolution, and then it was affirmed in 1986, of which Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory. It says the right to develop is an inalienable human right, by virtue of which every human person and all peoples are entitled to participate in, contribute to, and enjoy economic, social, and cultural and political development. If you all do not believe me, let's go to our Constitution too, and then think about this red book that you all are praising, you're holding up and waving, we win, we win. Read your own Constitution. In the preamble B, respect the principles of justice, and therefore believe that the operation of the economic system should result in the material resources of the community being so distributed as to subserve the common good, that there should be adequate means of livelihood for all, that labor should not be exploited or forced by economic necessity to operate in inhumane conditions, but that there should be opportunity for advancement on the basis of recognition of merit, ability, and integrity. I put it to you here, colleagues on the other side, that by supporting this, by bringing this and passing this budget, you have gone totally against the Constitution of our beloved Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know who consulted with this. Senator Zama Leasing said 3 weeks before the budget, the Minister of Finance went for consultation when she knows full well that budget documents and yellow documents had started, the process is started in March of the year, and it completes and printed by July. So to consult in September for October, that and nothing is the same thing according to Sprangalang. So I want to just give you an analogy. If the IMF is like the fridge, since PNM like fridge and fridge door, and when they say anything, make sure the door closed, and if the fridge door open. The IMF is like a fridge, and you have a 6-pack of Carib in the fridge. That's the IMF prescriptions. With this budget, the 6-pack done, and the citizens cap out. If you take a Carib out the fridge, and you take the label off, and you drink it, does that mean you just drink a beer, or did you drink a Carib? So all of these prescriptions, 100% of the policies implemented, the structural adjustment, the taxation, the cuts in expenditure, and everything enunciated in this budget smells IMF, but it's spelled PNM. I was just reading a little fairy tale online for my daughter, 6-year-old Anaya, and it was about fairy tales and fantasy about a dwen. And this fairy tale said, if it look like a dwen, smell like a dwen, dance like a dwen, smile and grin like a dwen, is a dwen. So to use that analogy with this budget, if it look like IMF, feel like IMF, read like IMF, and bring pain to the people like the IMF, then it is IMF.
October 2020, I fed up. I fed up telling all I tell you so, I tell you so. Elections have consequences. We have to take our time and analyze what are the policies, what are the beliefs, what is in the heart of the politicians. Don't come just there and think it's a football game, put on a red jersey and go red, and swing your head. Nonsense. That's where we going and that's where we reach. That is October 2020. Look, I'm talking about my 6-year-old. My daughter going and be 8. Unilever to cease production in Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, Express, this is what? Not Rowley and them fault. All the job loss, all the metal, small pinball, he was the lawyer at the Steel Workers Union. But when he in government, metal and them shut down, 600 workers gone home. He ain't tried to save them. Unilever, 100 workers to be retrenched. They getting out of Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody who have the opportunity to run from the PNM is doing so. Mash brakes on fuel subsidy cuts, say Taxi Driver Association. Now all they're doing that. When they do and tell, all they do it once, he do it twice, he do it 3 times, and then he going to do it again because all they ain't riot yet. All they now wake up. When it was time to get rid of them, you see, because you're playing games, to stop the games. Because Kamla Prasad Bisesa said and continued to do, I don't know what I have an alarm going up now for. Continued, supposed to have a joint select committee, foreign affairs, they cancelled again for about the 6th time. Like Amory Brown don't like work. He only like the gallery himself and slink around. He don't like hard work. Foreign affairs, joint select committee, must be a meet for the year. Well, longer than that. Roger tells government to back off. All right, Roger. But you should have tell them back off from a long time when they wanted to shut down Petro Train. That's what we should have do. All you're now waking up. Well, boy. Well, this one was the greatest. St. Joseph, I sorry for all you know. But it's okay. You could see the difference. You can see the difference between a man ball and we #1 in the world because 2 drunk students in Oxford who don't even know where Trinidad and Tobago is, who believe that we swinging on vines and we are nothing, say that because them read what them say, what Rowley and them say, we is #1 in the world. When we is really the worst in the world in COVID-19. All you have this man, and look at the Newsday. Newsday, all you really have no shame. Archie, I don't know if you could come in on this through the lights. Come in and show. This man is the Minister of Health who should never have been the Minister of Health, the most incompetent Minister of Health in the history of the planet. The man who had Trinidad and Tobago at the worst level of all global ministers of health. Over 3,660 citizens have died. We had a total collapse of the health system. And look what the Newsday does. They put a picture of this man like he's some kind of hero with his hand up, like he win an Olympic medal or he win a title fight or some kind of thing. Really, Newsday? That's the kind of tomfoolery all is still going on with now. When the population is aware, but these are the games they try to play with your mind share. So you would actually not know that that man is a total goat, that that man is a total dunce, that that man don't even know the words of the national anthem, our motto, that that man talks so much stupidness. They pretend that he's a hero. But one thing he could do, oh Lord, that man could cry.
The best crying award goes to Terrence Dalzing.
Archie boy, that man, come show me our next one. This man, he didn't weep in. Oh Lord, look in Grey's Anatomy. Where Derek? that had to be at Trinidad and Tobago Hospital because Derek dead there, you know. That is actually a very good one, all your Trinis. Come again, run the video, man. You really want people to believe that? You really feel people believe you? You're heartless, non-caring. You send a tin of cricks. Wait till some kind of biscuit for the nurse them. No uniform. You cut the pay. No overtime. Overstressed. No mental health issues. No counseling for the nurses. You come to play crying. Let him cry again. Because let me tell you something. You go really have to cry, convent girl. Because look what coming for you. Run it.
Could I get a napkin, please?
We're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, we're ready, yeah, we're ready.
Look what your boy get for you. I get this all for you, convent girl. I have a whole case in the car. Anytime I'm moving up in St. Joseph, I go hand it all to you. You go cry every day, every night. You go cry till you grow back here, boy. Because all you're too wicked. And then on top of that, you making a game and a joke when citizens across this country have had to pay and will have to pay hard-earned money that they don't even have. Because of your laws and your health regulations, your mask law that a man and his wife, after they make love upstairs and they eat a Caricom, them have to put on mask in the car with the children and the family. That's what all you do, people. Hundreds of thousands of people ticketed, punished. Black boys stopped from doing their little party down in Edinburgh, in St. Paul Street, down in Mova, in Samaru Village, Printreville. Black people couldn't enjoy themselves. But in the PNM Aqua Park with the PNM chowling on, you could do what you want. In the PNM NCC Savannah, you could do what you want. But little fellas and girls in the little village having time, you send police the resources for them because you're wicked. Well, I want to see where the police for this one. Convent girl, what is the law? Let me hear.
I'm going to break all these social distancing rules today because today is a day of celebration.
Really? You're going to break all the social distancing rules, all the laws and all the health regulations because today is a day of celebration? Really? Where the police, DCP Jacob, they tell me don't walk with Jacob because Jacob does walk and shake up and Jacob need somebody to get disqualified so he could jump 6 places up to number 1 and pretend he's a hero. He could tear gas Tanti who praying and chanting Rowley must go, but he allow balancing and gallivanting in the savannah and down in Aqua Park, Rahal Aqua Park. Where the police, Jacob? Jacob, where the police? Where the charge for the Minister of Health who break any whole law?
Celebration.
So Jacob, the law is once is a celebration, we could break the law, Jacob. Oh gosh, Jacob, boy, if you know how many police officers stop me and tell me they shame, they say Douglar shame. Jacob, you're dragging the police, but you're dragging the police flag. You're clung. Police grounded, unable to stop Fet in Tobago. Jacob. So big Fet going on in Tobago. Police can't reach. They had no boat, they had no dinghy, they can't swim, they can't reach at all. So man over there breaking law. Look, Jacob, police. Oh Lord. Judge, errant cops should pay damages from their own pockets. Errant cops? Let me find out what this is, because according to Vasant and Boinjodat Tiwari, Bo, stop being a mama pool. You're going sneaking around having meeting with 6-7 people, of which I send 5. You're dumb. Why are you so dumb, Bo? And he'll send about 5 of them is 11. So it's you and my boy, right? Plus my 5, that's 7. So 4 people come to your meeting, Bo, and you want to lead what? What you want to lead? Bo, go and lead the ladies' bridge club or something and cool yourself, right? If you want to lead, come out like a man and say you want to lead. You're afraid, Kamala? Don't afraid, Bobo. She will only beat you by 20,000 votes. Only 20,000. Okay, Bobo? Judge, errant cops should pay. Why? What is judge talking about? Because according to Vassant and Bo, who agree with Rowley, the 3 PNM, you know they have something called the 3 Musketeers? Well, the 3 PNM, that when police or army or coast guard take the law into their own hands and use extra force and extrajudicial powers, that a real leader would not pull them up, would not ensure that justice prevails for all. Because when Kamla Prasad Bisesa calls for an investigation, when the Coast Guard shoot at 35 unarmed people and kill a baby and shoot a mother, Vasant, you attack. Bo, you criticize. And your son Nirad, who in an AmCham, you know what that is. That is a work really, or that is just a trade-off? What AmCham does do? Huh? They attack Kamla. So let's see what this judge is talking about. The judge says, High Court judge is again advocating for errant police officers to pay victims of their malicious prosecution either all or a portion of the compensation. Where the evidence of wrongdoing on the part of agents of the state was pellucid, he made the recommendations after awarding a beach farmer a total of $168,500 plus interest and costs after he successfully sued for malicious prosecution. And this is on top of the Nigerian who get 800,000 for malicious prosecution also, and how much ever thousand in Grenada for the Coast Guard beating up the Grenadian boy and so on, and so much, how much million for Elvis Santoyo Saravia. So Vasant, Bo, and Rowley all still think that the police should just do what the hell they want and don't say nothing to police. Don't be ridiculous. The only one showing leadership quality is Kamla, to tell them hold your roll, slow your roll, act responsibly, act under the law. Do not use tear gas on innocent ladies and children who are protesting while socially separating. Why only didn't pelt some flipping tear gas in Terrance's eyes, let him really cry for real, instead of this mama guy thing, wiping away thing. I hear you get bruise on the eyelid because your eye is so dry. That man wipe a dry eye, you know. That clown called Confront girl Terrance Dial sing. Well, boy, I was in the Senate yesterday. I nearly choked, yes. A man tell me he didn't change his name. But all my partners and things from presentation, I pay against Anthony Sherwood. We beat presentation with Bertram and Romano Paul and all of them down in Skinner Park when they had a doubleheader and they didn't roll the pit back in 87. I know a man name was something and now a man have a next name, and I just state the absolute fact. The man nearly cry. The man makeup run in one eye, the hair dye run in the next one, and he say he never change his name. Well, I go in and Google. Actually, I go in and Google Johnny Sukaran. Let me see what come up. Google. Actually, show them the images of Johnny Sukaran. Oh, look, Johnny Sukaran. What is his name now? So if your name was Johnny Sukaran and your name is something else now, that means you change your name. Actually, run the video. Let me check what happened yesterday. Run that. I am simply amazed at the stupefying irony of a man who changed his name from Sukaran, calling me xenophobic. Change your name from Sukaran. Change your name from Sukaran. Change your name from Sukaran, calling me xenophobic. What happened there, Faris? Really? Archie? But it's real mashup for you, know. Let me tell you something, eh? Faris, poor fella. You're in a ring. But it's not a boxing ring where man could go mano-mano. You're in a ring, and you, Faris, have 15 supporters. You, Faris, have an extra 6 supporters that's sitting down behind the UNC. That 21 Faris. The referee, the judge, and all in control of the fight, Faris, is your friend and protecting you, Faris. You have all of that advantage. And all the Douglar have is he big mouth and he brain, and you're afraid, Faris. You don't want the Douglar talk. You can't let me talk, but let me tell you something. Don't come at Lida, you know, because even though it's only 6 of we down there in the UNC is a strong team, and we take care of each other, we protect each other, and most importantly, Faris, we're not little cowards. You need mama to protect you in the little Senate. Run it, Archie.
Senator Lida also has assured me that when he comes into cabinet, when this PNM government, we see the back of you all very shortly, that he certainly will never sit in cabinet and rent out his own building. Rent out his own building. Rent out his own building.
Emotional, damn.
So yesterday they said it was very interesting. Once again, I must get an interruption about 18 to 21 times by this poor little Faris. Faris, we don't know you're dumb. The whole country knows you're a dum-dum. They know you're a dunce. You've produced some of the worst laws in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. You are the worst Attorney General, bar none. You spent an inordinate amount of time in law school. Everybody knows you're a below average student. You are not even the brightest lawyer in your cabinet or on your parliamentary bench. Keith Scotland? Strong black man, Keith Scotland. How does it feel to be so intelligent, Keith Scotland? So brilliant, Keith Scotland. So strong, so amazing. Having done so many groundbreaking cases, Keith Scotland, and you have to sit down with nothing. You're a nobody. And a dunce like Al-Rawi, who cannot even debate the Douglar in a fixed game, is the Attorney General, Keith Scotland. You sure you're on the right team? You sure, Ketos? Black man, my black, strong, proud brother, my mother, good things she passed, because she would be shame, Ketos. You know that. But Archie, show them now. But the Douglar don't matter. You could jump up and down. You could whine around. You could dye your hair, Al-Rawi. You could dye your bed. You could interrupt. But you can't rile up the Douglar. Because brain beat dunce anytime. Run it.
I am simply amazed at the stupefying irony of a man who changed his name from Sukaran, calling me xenophobic. The Attorney General of the government of Trinidad.
1 second, please, members. No, Senator Roberts, we don't allow that phraseology which you just used to open your contribution. No, Senator Roberts. Senator, no, not that. Please, just don't go down that road. Continue your contribution, but do not go down that road.
Thank you, sir. Let me, please. I will continue, Mr. Vice President.
Senator Roberts, there's a standing order being raised.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I rise now not on 48.1, but on 44.4 and 44.6. And also 46.4 and 46.6. Because, Mr. Vice President, to say I've changed my name is not only an unadulterated untruth, but it is to go to the basis level of disgusting behavior, Mr. Vice President.
Okay, so, Attorney General, I've ruled on that. I've warned the Senator. Senator, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Emotions running high with a lot of hair dye. Dominican Republic, the last time I checked...
Senator Roberts. We are not going down that road. I'm not going to repeat the phrase. There's no need to go down that road. Just continue the contribution and leave out what I usually refer to when I'm in the chair as the extra seasoning. There's no need for it. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We don't have extra seasoning because we don't have $2 for condiments. But the Honorable Attorney General stated in his presentation
that our people could look to opportunities in the Dominican Republic. The last time I checked in 2013, November, Caricom suspended the application for full membership of the Dominican Republic because of their treatment of Haitian migrants. So I would like the Attorney General or any minister who's coming after to please correct the record, because I don't see in this bill that any national of Trinidad and Tobago will be able to get any job in the Dominican Republic. And for an Attorney General to be discussing a bill on Caricom and not understand what is observer status as opposed to full status speaks for itself. Clearly, the Attorney General is neither a good businessman nor a good Attorney General. Senator Leiter does business. He invests capital in Caricom and territories. This bill does not deal with capital investment.
Being raised.
46.6.
Okay, so Senator Roberts, just like I said, I've cautioned you before in the references to members in the way that you're referencing them. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Honorable Attorney General said and stated right here just a few moments ago that my honorable colleague, Senator Leiter, the great businessman that he is, that he invests money and has businesses across the Caribbean, which is very true. But this bill that we're debating here, sir, as you eloquently put it, is not about investment in capital investment or opportunities in the Caribbean. This bill deals with human beings. So I'm not sure what the Attorney General was talking about or trying to debate. This bill, Senator Leiter could have stood up on 46.1 when the Attorney General was debating and stopped him for relevance. But Senator Leiter believes in free speech, no matter how irrelevant and nonsensical a contribution. So Senator Leiter also has assured me that when he comes into cabinet, when this PNM government, we see the back of you all very shortly, that he certainly will never sit in cabinet and rent out his own building. The Attorney General just commended a UNC
Senator
member
Roberts,
of Parliament.
Senator Roberts, yes, sir. You are, in your contribution, along certain lines, slipping in certain comments that would, let me finish, that would put you in breach of certain standing orders. Again, I'm now going to warn you, just be careful how you slip in those comments in your contribution. Continue.
Mr. Vice President, I'm very confused because I'm slipping in truth. I'm not slipping in any comment. It's a fact. I don't know. But Faris, do me something now. Because you stand up there and you say anybody who say you change your name, they lie, and it's disgusting. Faris, show me a comment entrance slip that you pass a presentation. Show me that name now. Show me it should be yellow. All of us have our little slip from comment entrance when I went Fatima, you see, 1980. When you pass a press, show me now. Show me Johnny Sukaran or Faris Al-Rawi. You so ashamed to be an Indian boy. What wrong with you? Look your Indian brother here. What happened, boy? Hey, don't get frightened. Let me go in the chutney soca monarch when it come next year, 2023 now. Why you ashamed to be Indian so? What wrong? I'm proud to be Indian. My mother wears sari every day. It's roti, curry goat, basap shot, aloo. Oh Lord, I love my Indian mother. All my children is at least quarter Indian too. You understand? But anyway, to each his own. But don't call the UNC xenophobic. Don't call me xenophobic. We love all people, but we understand that charity begins at home. And after the decimation of the PNM to our economy, the energy sector, the non-energy sector, the entire economy is shattered. Businesses shuttered. 7.5 billion in VAT owed to people. You're taxing and mashing up people. That we are not in a state to receive competition. So passing that bill at this time is not no xenophobia. You ridiculous name-changing clown. Why don't go and dye your tongue too? Osh Inspector
probing, diving tragedy, now resigns. If it's one thing is the next, Guardian, Radica de Silva, one of the Occupational Safety and Health Agency, Osha, inspectors involved in the probe of the LMCF divers tragedy has resigned. The resignation was submitted late last week, so we're monitoring that. But Paria, if it's one thing we know, boy, it's Paria, you just like Rowley. Rowley is Paria, Paria is Rowley, Newman George is Rowley, Rowley is Newman George, and all others lie. Run it, Archie. Paria's press release on Monday, 7th March, stated, and I quote, "It was determined by Paria and supported by the Coast Guard, the Osha agency, and external experts that it was too dangerous for anyone to proceed further." But then 2 days later, on Wednesday, in Paria's statement, paid advertisement, a slight change. But listen to it, because a slight change means lies, means cover-up, means deceit, and means murder. 5-1 is murder. Paria said on Wednesday, "It was determined by Paria and supported by the Coast Guard and external experts." All of a sudden, the Osha agency disappeared. Why was Paria lying and trying to get credibility into the decision to let the men die, to stop the rescue, to stop the mission, to cease any sort of hope at life? Well, Osha agency came out and spoke through Mr. Kendall Reed, and the Osha agency said categorically, one, the Osha agency never advised Paria executives nor supported the decision to abort the rescue mission. Lie, Paria, lie. Paria's false claims are damaging to the agency. Lie, Paria. Our team never formed part of Paria's response team. Lie, Paria. Osha is a law enforcement body, not a first responder. Lie, Paria, lie. We never became involved in any decision-making process during the rescue operation. 5-1 is murder, and the murderers deserve the political death sentence. And on top of that, Paria sending out footage to a PNM troll to pretend to analyze like some expert to say that no rescue could have been possible because the air tanks, the scuba tanks were so wedged by the pressure of the event that it would have been impossible to get to the divers. The story of Christopher Boudram shows that the 3 tanks that would have been on this side, that where the camera went in, that they were not wedged, that they were actually moved by Christopher Boudram himself, utilizing 2 tanks at different times. A first tank that he moved, and when that nearly finished, he found another tank, and Kerban, who was just behind him, had a tank. So 1, 2, 3 tanks, not wedged like the PNM troll who got her job and nobody knows who advertised, how she got it, where she got it. But the disgusting nature of that human being. If you have to support PNM, that means you have to support that sort of human being who ridicules people and murder victims and so on. That is what you have to do to be a PNM supporter. So just remember that. And Paria, how she get it? How she get the video, Paria? This is a game, lives at stake, and you're all playing games. What are you all hiding so, Paria? An accident occurred, an event occurred. Why all the obfuscation? Why the hiding? Why the lies? Why the attempts to create a partisan committee to investigate? Why? What all you hiding? ¿Qué pasa, Paria? ¿Qué pasa con ustedes? Ah, tú no sabes que Venezuela es aquí, Delcy, Maduro y todo con Rowley, Newman George y Small Ping. You don't know? Well, we know. The people know. But let me tell you something. When you all vote for nonsense and you let Rowley, a man who don't like black people, tell you don't vote for Indian because he black. Remember, look at this picture, Archie. Look at this picture. Look at Christopher Boudram. Put it up. And his wife.
right? And the 4 Douglar children. That is love and unity. That is what Trinidad and Tobago is. We may not have the picture, see Archie not having it there, but you all saw it in the Express front page. An Indian Christopher Boudram with his beautiful wife, an African wife, and 4 Douglar children. And all you want to vote race? When in Trinidad and Tobago that does not exist. It does not exist. And Boudram, that brother, God bless you, boy. I know what is going through, and you need plenty help and understanding, because you understand what it means to be on a team. Yes, Archie, well done, my brother. Look at that. That is Trinidad and Tobago. That is love. No African, no Indian. Human beings, Trinbagonian, bleeding the same blood. And anybody who want to divide we and mash we up must get out of here like how Tobago petaled out and spit out Rowley. The divisive, disgusting, heartless human being. And Boudram, boy, I know your pain. I know your pain, because you're a team player. But God bless you. As Kamala say, God save you for a reason. Actually, let me hear what Boudram said.
It hurts me to know that I promised these fellas, even while I coming out the pipeline, we were here knocking, the divers were here hearing men living in there and calling and begging. All by the next boat, number 5 boat, people were here knocking. Yeah, I promised these guys I was coming back for them.
Shall we wait? We wait to see the outcome of the investigation. But when you have a prime minister who came in to the office being the #1 liar in the history of the Commonwealth with Emailgate, supported by his attorney, Smallpin, who met him defending the liar in Emailgate, and now you see straight in your face with the greatest constitutional crisis in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, that a prime minister, the leader of the executive, interfered, intervened, and misbehaved in public office by influencing public office holders to act in a way that was contrary to their duty. Keith Christopher Rowley has confessed and is arguing with himself as the country watches on. And Guardian newspaper, you say, PM fires back. The Prime Minister can't fire back. He's arguing with himself. It is his contributions, his statement, his lies that he is going back and forth with. But the facts are there that on August 11th, Keith Rowley went to the office of the president. Keith Rowley whispered in her ears without any report being there, and she, the president, allowed the chairman of the Police Service Commission to withdraw a list that had been delivered to the president. Section 123(4) of the Constitution states that on receipt of the list, the president shall, not shall marshal, shall mean deliver to the parliament. No discretion whatsoever, no withdrawal, no doubles and coffee, no tea, no reversal, no throwaway, no lose in the dustbin. Go to the parliament. The president allowed Bliss Sipasad to withdraw it later that day based on her own statement. We are in a constitutional crisis, and we have the highest office holders in the land who have breached the law. And you have reporters like Kiljan Haynes trying to discuss if Rowley said when he didn't say and when he... Who cares? It's not about Rowley. Rowley is the biggest liar in the world. What he said and what he didn't say, we all know what he said. And we all knew that it was him. And when Kamala said it was him, Rowley said 3 different things. He said, I could meet the president anytime, he said. I could go there and keep her informed. He never said it was him who went there. He now say with reiterate. But the point is that it was him. That he did interfere. That he was interfering 14 months before by writing and informing and trying to influence the chairman of the Police Service Commission with his opinion of Gary Griffith as being disrespectful and whatever. But in those letters, he never ever mentioned any FUL investigation. That only came up on August 11th when he whispered in Paula May Weeks' ears lovingly, hey, that merit list, Gary Griffith, a hearing thing, it have some corruption in FUL. All you can't let our list go forward. And the president took that stupidity, no report, no information, no authority, no police investigation, no Bureau of Standards investigation, no integrity commission, no fraud squad, nothing of substance, just the words of a Commonwealth parliamentary liar, and the president trampled on the Constitution, breached the law, and Bliss C. Prasad breached the law and was influenced by Rowley. End of story. Who cares what Rowley said, when he said it, and how he said it? Just run and look at this and understand that Rowley needs to be totally investigated, charged. DCP Jacob, who walk with Jacob, tell me to walk and shake up. But isn't it ironic? Jacob, who benefited from Rowley's misbehavior in public office, is now responsible for investigating the man who gave him Ewok. Trinidad and Tobago, great is the PNM. Yes, man, run it. So by Rowley's concocted definition, his interfacing was interference and misbehavior in public office. Furthermore, that was September 23rd. Now go back, he knows, and actually I want to play that short one more time, right? Look at his face. Now keep in mind that he knows it was him. Because since then at the vaccination site, when asked by the media, he said, yes, it's me. I keep the president informed. Now he's trying to change and add on to the story. Not change, but add on. But I want you to look at this video now and look at this man's face. He knows at the time he's speaking there that the man who went to President's house on August 12th and interfaced and interfered with Bliss C. Prasad, the chairperson, and the president was in fact himself. That he went, look at this pathological lying human being. Watch him good.
Your response just now, you said you had confidence in these systems to work it out, and you had confidence that it will be worked out. Do you have confidence in the Police Service Commission and its members?
Well, I didn't say that. I said about institutions, and I mean, I'm not picking and choosing. A number of institutions are involved here, and they're required to interface. No institution is an island unto itself. This question of an independent, this and an independent that, there is an interfacing between the various institutions. When you talk about interference is when you interface without good and proper reason. And none of that has happened by the political directorate as far as I know. I lead the government, and the government has not improperly interfaced with any of these agencies. Right? We have interfaced, but not improperly.
The second video with Al-Rawi now, while Archie will find that, keep that in your mind, but I wanted you all to see, because you have to see what this human being is. But this same one that we're watching here that Archie want to play right now all the time, this one, I want you to listen to this one. Because Faris Al-Rawi has now joined Rowley as a convicted parliamentary liar. But listen to this, what he's saying carefully. Because when you even listen to Al-Rawi here, he's sinking Rowley. Whether he knows intentionally or unintentionally, he's sinking Rowley. Because he's giving you exactly how independent offices are supposed to operate. So on the left side, one man lying through his teeth. And like on the right side, this fella didn't get the memo. And he kind of talked the truth about the principle of separation of powers. Run it, Archie.
The government has a rule. The attorney for the government, the Attorney General, has a rule. We do certain things, we take to Parliament. In this whole appointment process, our rule ended when the order was upheld. That order is not even under challenge. What the Police Service Commission does, the Constitution says it does. And they act independently under Section 123 of the Constitution. What the Office of the President does is specified in the Constitution as well. So none of us have a rule on what an independent Police Service Commission may or may not do. We would be quite simply out of place to volunteer that, let alone on any speculation. because we don't know any of that.
He just sink Rowley. Now understand what he just said. What he said there was actually correct. Constitutional roles are well defined, and once you get involved in roles that are not in your lane, you have anarchy. The Police Service Commission is absolutely independent and has their job to do. The government has their job to do, and the government's job ended at a certain point with the order in Parliament. Rowley said today that he a year before was vexed or didn't like what Gary do. He lost confidence and he wrote a letter to the Police Service Commission, breach of the lines that Al-Rawi spoke about, that he went August 12th to inform the president because that's his duty to keep her informed, and Blessy Prasad was there, and he on August 26th, 27th and 30th continued to try to give information to the Police Service Commission, breaching the tenets of separation of powers, and therefore, according to Al-Rawi, Rowley is instituting anarchy in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's why we have a constitutional crisis. Now, if I am to tell you, my beautiful citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that right now, the entire country knows that for the last 6 or 7 months and more, that Keith Rowley again lied through his teeth at every juncture about this Police Service Commission debacle and the thwarting of the merit list, and Gary Griffith being spit out, pelt out, and DCP Jacob being selected by the PNM. Rowley lied for all that time, and only this week in the Express he told the truth. It was me. I went there August 11th. I went to the president. It was me. I am the high public official. Now, if I tell you that what I'm going to read here is a responsible journalist, a responsible newspaper's opinion of that I just described, and they take the position, well, thank you, Rowley. Thank you for finally telling the truth. In other words, yes, you lied for 6-7 months, but thank you for telling the truth. So if your child take the cookie and lie for 7 minutes, you tell them, well, thanks for telling the truth. You don't buff them. Listen to the Express editorial. We can all be thankful that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has brought an end to public speculation over the identity of the high-ranking official whose intervention led to the cascade of events culminating in Gary Griffith's removal as acting police commissioner and the collapse of the Police Service Commission, among other things. Not among other things, to a constitutional crisis, to the breaches of the law, to misbehavior in public office, to criminal acts, to crimes committed by the highest executive office and the office of the presidency. That is what, and all you thanking Rowley for being a liar. Express, are you really serious? Really? But here this one, the Express put some details for you all, and I'm going to deal with one little intricate issue. Because Rowley said, I shared with the commission what came to me. They then appointed Justice Stanley John to go and do the investigation. Okay. So Rowley shared something that came to him. What came to him? Does it qualify as a legitimate legal report? What was it? What came to him? You see, this nonsense, but it was some Barrington thing that the National Security Council, which is a subcommittee of cabinet that has no authority to investigate anything. It's not a report from the Bureau of Standards or the Fraud Squad or the police or the Police Service Unit or the PCA, none of that. Rowley said he get information and he give it. He went there to President's house on the 11th and told Paula May and Blissy Prasad. But here the thing, Rowley continued, what we have is evidence that should be of concern to every citizen. That evidence, says Rowley, being referred to was the Stanley John report, which stated there was a thriving, well-oiled, white-collar criminal enterprise. There's one problem, my people of Trinidad and Tobago. When did Stanley John do the report? Not before August 11th. Before August 11th, they had no Stanley John report. So Rowley is trying to claim that his intervention was so critical and so blessed with information because of a Stanley John report, which did not exist. The Stanley John report came after Keith Rowley went to President's house, sign in, whisper in Paula May ears. She tremble and tell Bliss, come girl, take back the list. Police, where you? 28 police running Schoon House? How much running in Rowley House? Rowley. It's amazing, you know. Now I hear some Mukesh Basdio. He said, and Mukesh Basdio, sometimes when people ask you and you're not an expert, you need to shh. You're a good fella. I know you didn't mean bad, but if you don't know, then shh. They're asking an analyst and so on, what is the opinion of this now? And this will become a legal discussion about the role of the Prime Minister, said Mukesh Basdio. He said the Prime Minister's position is that he presented a report to Sipasad and she would have then revoked the merit list submitted to the President. Boss man, there was no report. The Stanley John report is the one that the Police Service Commission instituted on the whisper of Rowley. So Rowley did not present Bliss Sipasad with any report of any merit other than hearsay nonsense and he say, she say. This is not a game. This is the Constitution. This is a merit list. This is the TTPS. This is the Commissioner of Police. This is the Prime Minister. This is the President. So Mukesh, if you don't remember all the facts, shh, I know he's a good fella, okay? But cool it. You understand? Lala. Larry Lala, boy. Yes, Lala Le, Lala Lala. Well said, Larry Lala. Cogent, precise, intelligent, brilliant. Rowley misbehaved in public office. Charge him. Where all my other senior counsel and everybody else? Emil Krong, well said. Rowley in trouble. Senator Naked, probe Rowley, but he's a UNC, so we ain't gonna count we. All right, forget we. But Senator Vera now, independent Senator Vera, you attack. You have a committee to censure UNC senators. You attack Jayanti Lachmidyal. Me, I care if you attack me. Me afraid you clung. Attack Kamla Prasad Bisesa. You said all of us were ridiculous. We came there and it was only innuendo and nonsense, no evidence. What say you now, Senator Dunce? What say you now, Senator Vera? You're attacking the UNC. We are barbaric. We are market. Getting on like it's a marketplace. Okay, Senator Vera. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC were fighting to discuss, to debate, to put evidence on the Hansard. All of this that we knew and we were saying based on the President's statement, based on Rowley's statement, that great crimes and misdemeanors had been committed, that Rowley had interfered, interfaced, influenced, and thwarted a merit list that was legally sanctioned, approved by the entire majority, the majority of the Police Service Commission. We wanted an independent tribunal of judges to investigate and report, but you didn't. And you attacked the UNC, and you put a motion of censure, and you get it passed with your PNM friends, and you're coming to ask we to sit on a committee to discuss we. What say you now with the new evidence, Senator Vera? You're very quiet in the Senate yesterday, hiding. Eh? Wow. Sophia Choate, Law Association, what say you? Israel Khan, Deborah Peake, Russell Martino, Douglas Mendez, what say you all brilliant minds? What? Cat got your tongue? Rowley say, all you get pip? What? The country needs you all. Or you still need more brief? What all you want to do? Take brief where? Into your hundreds? Fayad Hussein, well you, well poor you. Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, what say you, the great warrior? Reginald Dumas, Winford James, well Winford James spoke, correct. Winford James said, trouble. Ramesh Diosaran, labor leaders, OWTU, CWU, NUGFW, TALPA, Big Woo, Tutor, Chambers of Industry and Commerce, Transparency International, where are you? AmCham, retired former senior police, retired judges, law professors, Vasan Bharat and Botiwari, Team B, PNM, what say you? Rowley did good. Kamla naughty, Kamla not good. Let's go have a little meeting and shoo let we get rid of Kamla. I mean, how we can move Kamla? Country in crisis, constitution being thwarted, police commissioner meritless, thwarted and rejected, crime, blood in the streets, and you shoo-shooing like a mama pool about Kamla Botiwari? Media Association, where you, Ira Matur, what you have to say? You're studying Answer Makal gift cards, DCP Jacobs, the DPP, all they doing your jobs? Anybody want to do the job? Nah, don't do your job because it's a PNM and it's Rowley and he's a dictator and all afraid of him. Integrity Commission, what about you? Section 26 of the Integrity in Public Life Act. Express, Newsday, Guardian, Fazil Mohammed, JW Balize, what's saying? What's saying all here? And to those who think the point is about if he said it or if Rowley said it, when he said it, nobody cares about if he said it, is what he did. Did he break the law? Yes, he did. What did Paula May do? Did she breach the Constitution? Is breaching the Constitution breaking the law? What about Bliss C. Prasad? And what is going to happen? Are our institutions going to do their job? Or are you going to just ensure that we continue with this bag of dunces? PNM dunces all around, Archie. We are moving forward a bit. So look down your list a bit and show them the video of the PNM dunces, Archie. Run it.
And I am only grateful that Minister Nayan Gatsby Dolly is the Minister of Health in these trying times. Together we aspire, together we achieve. That's our national anthem. Now, that's our watchwords. National anthem is discipline, production, and tolerance.
Our heartfelt appreciation for the gracious welcome and hospitality provided by His Highness.
No, my duty is not to ensure that people feel safe and secure.
Thank God we are. If the PNM wasn't in power now, the place would have been worse. And we already have problems. Worse than it is right now? Oh yes. Take it. So we have to thank the PNM for where we are now? I think so. Okay, I'm glad you said that. But
and I never imagined that leaks could have prevented people from getting an efficient water supply because it breaks down pressure and the water cannot go to communities on the upper levels.
And that is why, as Prime Minister, I was very happy after the election results came out that I got somebody who had no connection, no understanding, no nothing to do with WASA, to be Minister of WASA.
On the issue of face masks, you could do like me, take an old t-shirt, rip it, and you have a face mask.
He was one of them, but I told him in the way of the Rasta man, feel free, son. Go on. Go along.
What you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is not the place for you. Nobody lives there.
The Lord of Lies, Keith Christopher Rowley. He lied on Manning, he lied on Kamla, he lied on Emailgate, and he lies continuously. There are lies of Paria, there are lies of the Police Service Commission, there's misbehavior in public office. When you elect the Lord of Lies, this is what happens. But Patrick Manning spoke to you all, even the passionate supporters of the PNM. He told you, when you see a liar, what you see, run it.
It raises a question, ladies and gentlemen. If they cannot speak the truth in small things, imagine what they will do in big things. My mother used to say, show me a liar and I'll show you a thief.
And Manning's mother was very intelligent. And let me tell you something. Keith Christopher Rowley needs to come clean with the population. I told you all this about 11 months ago, that I have information that he is being checked weekly by a specialist in St. Clair for dementia. This is not funny. This is a very serious thing. Because he, if you listen to this, he's arguing with himself. He's correcting himself. He's confessing and then saying he didn't confess and arguing with himself. This is not normal behavior. And he needs to come clean because he sits as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is a very serious thing. Dementia is not a joke. Because the man confused, and he has been confused for a while. Remember when he buff up Mr. Amar? Run it, Archie. And he buff Amar, and Amar was right. Run it.
You had appointed Mr. Motley, Balgobin, and another person in the initial stage where you gave a guideline to the country that these are the people going to help you to draft and make a way forward for Sandals. Yeah?
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. Please, please, no, sir. No, sir, your record wrong. Mr. Motley was only invited to work with this government on the issue of gas. Gas, in dealing with the gas companies, in dealing with the gas master plan. That's where Mr. Motley had absolutely nothing to do with Sandals. So whatever note you have there, tear it up.
I'm not tearing it up because I'll send you the evidential proof. Because I have it.
Well, if you have it,
I'll send it for you because we tell the truth.
Mr. Amar, I am head of this government. I brought Mr. Motley in and begged him to come and help with the gas problem. And he chaired a committee of the cabinet subcommittee of energy. And the committee did, but he was never involved with Sandals.
Get the information.
What's happening is that we are looking and we are wanting that label in Tobago and we're working on it. So to further this, today the cabinet agreed to appoint a team of people, and we are grateful that they've agreed to serve, some those who have already been informed. And that team is to be headed by Mr. Wendell Motley, to include Mr. Terence Farrell, who is the chairman of the Economic Advisory Board, Dr. Ralph Balgobin, Mr. Michael Small, a small hotelier in Tobago, Mr. Glenn Leslie, a small farmer in Tobago, Mrs. Nadira Lida, who is head of the Public-Private Partnership in the Ministry of Finance, and 2 reps to be named by the Tobago House of Assembly. And this group will be the one that will do the negotiations for what is to happen with respect to this project that we are pursuing for Sandals in Tobago.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. But Stephen Rees and all right-thinking people in this country are fed up. I fed up long time, but I know Rowley from since 1986. So I had an advantage in that I had advanced knowledge of his stupidity, his dishonesty, his pathology. But now that all of you are aware, Tobago is aware, and Tobago has gotten rid of them. We in Trinidad and Tobago, we in Trinidad now have to do it. So stop studying division and who could choo here and could you there, and get together, bring ideas, bring brain, bring intelligence to get rid of the PNM. Look at Paul Stephen Rees. Look at all what he's trying to do to get rid of this confusion called Rowley's PNM. Run it.
Hey, right now the thing get real serious, people, real serious. I try all kind of thing. I throw salt around the house. I use garlic. I throw black tail. I say all kind of prayers. I use oil from the church. I try red lavender. We throw lime water. I try 7 spirits, 7 seas, 2 avocado, 4 breadfruit, 2 Julie mango. I eat doubles with plenty roast pepper by the doubles man this morning. I burn incense, ammonia, and still I can't get rid of the PNM. Oh God.
God. All of we have to get together and do it. I'm tired. Say I tell you so. We must unite. Our country is in peril. Intelligent people need to come forth. Those of you who have grown cojones tonight, please speak out. Enough is enough. Come on. Good night.